Hey, what is up guys? This is Brett here from brettdev.com and welcome back to the channel. Now today in this video, I'm going to answer one of the most popular questions that I get through my channel, through my social media, and that is, can you live realistically in Thailand on $1,000 a month or less? So with everything that's happened over the past 2 years, I thought now would be a kind of a good time to revisit this question. I have made videos like this before, but several years ago. However, since then, obviously, as you all know, we've had mass money printing, inflation, all of this stuff, prices are going up. So the real question is it still doable? Can you still live in Thailand on $1,000 a month or less? Now, the answer may surprise you because the answer is kind of like yes and no. But if you stick around, if you watch the video right away to the end, you're going to be able to know whether or not you can do it or whether or not maybe you need a little bit more. Now, I've been living in Thailand for about 8 years, so I've got a pretty good idea of how much things cost and how much it costs to live here. I live in the north of Thailand. I live in Chiang Mai. I don't live in Bangkok. And that's going to be one of the biggest differentiating factors depending on, cost of living. So if you live in a big city in Thailand, such as Bangkok or Phuket, versus a rural area, that is going to affect your cost of living. There are pros to living in a big city, there are cons to living in a big city, there are pros to living in a rural area, there are cons to living in rural areas. If you're a foreigner, if you're coming to Thailand and it's like you haven't ever been here or lived here for any length of time, in all reality, you're going to probably want to live in a big city. Chiang Mai is great because Chiang Mai has a low cost of living, not as cheap as if you were to completely go and live out in the sticks. But if you don't speak Thai and if you actually want to have a lifestyle where you can go around and do stuff and interact with other foreigners perhaps, then you're not even going to be able to do that in a rural area, right? So you're probably going to find yourself, like I say, in Bangkok, Phuket, Hua Hin, Pattaya, whatever, Chiang Mai. That's probably going to be where you're going to want to go, right? But that is going to affect your cost of living. Not by a huge amount, but, well, maybe not like double the amount, but it's going to affect your cost of living. We're going to do this is we're going to break it down into various different categories, okay? I've got accommodation, utilities, transport, and all that stuff. I'm going to go through each individual one. I'm going to give you different scenarios, and I'm going to give you a total cost of what I think that you would probably need to spend at a bare minimum, okay? Before I do that, if you are interested in coming to Thailand, if you're going to come here for a long period of time or even just a short period of time, then head over to brettdev.com/Thailand. Go over to my website right there. You'll see that I've got free guides. Well, there will be free guides. Depending on when you watch this, I've almost finished them. I'm just about to make them available. They're going to be free. You can download them. They're going to give you kind of the same information I'm giving you in this video, but more in depth, okay? So that's brettdev.com/Thailand. And like I say, there you can get free guides on, living in Thailand, all sorts of different things. I'm working on producing quite a bunch of them, but the first one's going to be up very, very soon. Okay, so the first big thing anybody needs is accommodation. Now, in a town like Chiang Mai, a city like Chiang Mai, you can get a condo style apartment for about 4,000 to 6,000 baht a month. Now, this is going to be pretty much a hotel room. You're going to be in a hotel room. You might have a balcony if you're lucky. You can have a little toilet and you can have a TV, maybe a desk and a wardrobe. Very, very basic. You can get that for about 4,000, 6,000 baht a month. Now, when a lot of people come here, they don't really want to live in a hotel room style apartment. I did for like the first year when I first got here because I didn't have any money, but I didn't have much money. But a lot of people, when they come here, they want to live in kind of a modern style apartment, shall we say. Now, I would consider like a basic modern apartment to have like a separate living room, a separate bedroom, a little kitchen, and a bathroom. Now, there are plenty of those in Chiang Mai, and they will set you back around 7,000 to 10,000 baht per month, okay? And like I said before, location is important. So if you were in Bangkok, you can pretty much double this. Okay, so when I say 10,000 baht for an apartment in Chiang Mai, modern style apartment, Bangkok, the same thing would probably cost you about 20, okay? So that's the first expense out of the way. Your accommodation, if you're going to come to a place like Chiang Mai, and again, in the sticks, it'd be way cheaper, but if you're going to come to a place like Chiang Mai, it's about 10,000 baht a month, and that is $285. Next thing, of course, you must pay for is utilities, right? So I pay about $300 a month for my water. I run 2 air conditioners in my house, and the air conditioning bill varies, right? Because in the winter it's cooler, so you don't really run it, or you do run it, but it doesn't have to run as hard. And in the summer it's very hot, so it runs harder. I pay about 1,500 baht to 2,500 baht every month. So on average, we could say I pay about 2,000 baht a month for air conditioning. So 300 baht for water, 2,000 baht for air conditioning. I have my broadband, my internet. I think I have 500 megabytes per second speed, which is like half a gig, which is ridiculously fast. And for that, I only pay 600 baht a month. And I have my phone plan, which I pay like 2,500 baht for the whole year. So if you break that down, that's like 200 baht a month. I have unlimited internet. I think it's like max speed of 4 or 6 megabytes per second. And that's like, say, 200 baht a month or 2,500 baht for the year. If we total all those utilities up, you're looking at about 3,100 baht. Okay, so 3,100 baht for utilities plus 10,000 for the rent. We're looking at a total of 13,100 baht. That's $375. Okay, so we've got accommodation, we've got utilities checked off. The third thing you're probably going to need is transportation, right? So when you come to Thailand, you can either buy a motorbike or you can rent a motorbike. Most people rent a motorbike when they first get here. Once they decide they're going to stay, then they might, stop renting and buy a bike. If you don't want to ride a bike, you can also take Grab taxis. Grab is a little app on your phone, same as Uber if you're in the West, and it's really, really cheap. Like you can get across the city of Chiang Mai for like $3 or $4. And yeah, so you can go out $3 or $4 one way, $3 or $4 the other way, $8. Super cheap Grab. Great app. I would recommend everybody download Grab immediately as soon as you get to Bangkok. As soon as you arrive at the airport, you get your SIM card, open up the Play Store or the iOS store and download Grab. Because Grab, you can get food, you can get transport, everything. But like I say, most people will rent a motorbike. So the cost to rent a motorbike in Thailand will vary depending on the bike you get, depending on the person you rent it from, depending on the age of the bike. But let's just say you can get a pretty decent bike for 3,500 baht a month. Okay, so we've got 3,500 baht plus on top of our total of 13,100 baht. That leaves us at 16,600 baht. Okay, so that's accommodation, utilities, transport, 16,600 baht, $475 in total. The next expense that you're going to have is obviously food. Okay, so a Thai meal will cost you around about 50 baht per meal, and a Western meal will cost you around about 200 baht per meal. And I'm talking like a McDonald's or a pizza or something like that. I'm not talking about going to a fancy restaurant. I'm talking like a takeaway McDonald's or something like that. That's what I would consider a Western meal. Now, let's just say, for example, you don't want to eat Western food all day long, but you also don't want to eat Thai food all day long, right? So I've had comments on these videos going, oh my God, I can't believe you would eat a McDonald's when you're living in Thailand. There's all that nice Thai food. Yeah, there is loads of nice Thai food, but you don't want to eat just rice all day, every day for the rest of your life, okay? You want to try something else. So you want to eat something else. So let's just say, for example, on a Monday or Tuesday, you ate 3 times a day and you ate Thai food, yeah? So you're looking at like 300 baht for a Monday and Tuesday. Let's say on Wednesday, you ate two Thai meals and a Western meal. Again, you're looking at 300 baht, okay, if you do the maths. But if you ate Western food twice a week, like a McDonald's and a pizza, or I don't know, you can eat something healthier. I'm not saying you have to eat, fat Western food like I do. And the rest of the time you ate Thai food, I've estimated it's probably going to cost you about 6,000 baht a month, or about 1,500 baht a week. Okay, so that's your food costs. Now, 6,000 baht plus our total of 16,600 baht, that leaves us at 22,600 baht. That's $650. So we have covered accommodation, utilities, transportation, food, $650. Now, if you are going to be coming here and you are a foreigner, then you are going to need a visa. Okay, so everybody has to have a visa. And a lot of people, when they come here, they'll get like a year-long visa, right? Now, some people can come, they can get on a retirement visa. They can do the visa themselves, they can go through the whole process themselves, and it's relatively cheap. Or if somebody's married, they can do the marriage process themselves, and it's relatively cheap. There are visas that are relatively cheap, but for the most part, most foreigners that come here, they're either on an education visa of some kind, like learning Thai, or they're like training Muay Thai, or they're even on a retirement visa, but they're using an agent to actually process their visa for them, because it's a lot of paperwork, it's a real headache. Now, an education visa was going to set you back about 25,000 to 30,000 baht for the year, and you have to have a visa. All right, so I've got lots of videos about visas. I'll put a link up to the top corner if you want to learn more about them. But you're going to have one. It's going to cost you about 25 to 30,000 baht a year if you want to do something, say like an education. Now, if we break that figure down over the cost of a year across 12 months, you're looking at about 2,500 baht per month, okay, for your visa expenses. So 2,500 baht per month on top of our total of 22,600 baht. That leaves us at 25,100 Thai baht, or $720, right? So 720 bucks, we've already got our visas covered, we've got our food, we've got our transportation, we've got our utilities, and we've got our accommodation. So it's pretty good. We're still under $1,000, okay? The next thing on this list that I have is entertainment, okay? So, of course, there are lots of different things that you can do in Thailand that are free or that are very cheap. For example, you can go to national parks. Now, national park will only cost you like 50 to 200 baht to go and visit. Real problem with the entertainment category, and where people really do need more than $1,000 a month, is people that like to go to the bars and like to drink and like to party. So if that's your thing, if you like to go to the bars, you like to drink, you like to party, then by the time we get to the end of this list, you're not going to be able to do it on $1,000 a month, okay? If you're going to go once a week, you're still not going to be able to do it on $1,000 a month. You're going to need a little bit more than that. But let's just say the question here is, can you do it? Can you stay in Thailand on $1,000 a month or less? Let's just say you don't drink alcohol, you're not into the party scene or any of that sort of stuff. You just like, you know, maybe you're going to a nice restaurant once a week, you know, maybe go on a date or something like, I don't know. Or every weekend you go to a national park, or you go riding your motorbike, and you just, all you need is to put some fuel in your bike and you're just exploring nature and hiking and things like that. Then I would say budget about 1,000 baht a week for that, right? So you could easily do that. 1,000 baht a week over the course of a month, we're looking at 4,000 baht. So that's your entertainment. That's like going outdoors. That's not drinking, that's not partying, but that's going outdoors, it's enjoying your life, going on a date, like I said, maybe going to a nicer restaurant once a week, whatever it might be. That's 4,000 baht, I would budget for that. So we've now got 4,000 baht plus 25,100 baht. That brings our grand total to 29,100 baht, or $835. So we've covered pretty much the main things here. We've got entertainment, visas, food, transportation, utilities, accommodation, and the grand total we've got so far, provided you don't drink, provided you don't go to bars and party, is $835. Now, of course, this is not the only things you're going to spend money on, right? There are some things to consider here. The first thing is that this cost breakdown that I've just given you is only for one person, a single person. So if you can take what I've said about food and you can double it. If you're renting and you need accommodation, and if you like sharing with a partner, then obviously one rent for both of you is going to be fine, right? You need to factor all these different things in. Like I said, I've covered this for one person. I also haven't mentioned small little miscellaneous items that you're also going to have to pay for, right? So you need to do your laundry every week or whatever. You need to put gasoline in your motorbike. You need to purchase personal care items, right? You need to buy razors, you need to buy shaving foam, you need to buy shower gel. Like, there's all these little expenses. They're not a lot, but they all add up and they all add on to the cost, right? You might want to join a co-working space if that's what you're into. You might want a gym membership if you like fitness. In Chiang Mai, gym memberships are actually relatively cheap. You can get a gym membership for a full month for about 1,000 baht at a really good gym. So there's not a lot of money, but these are all additional expenses that you might want to have to factor in. You know, you're going to need to buy clothes, you're going to need to buy new shoes, you're going to need to buy all these other little bits that obviously I can't really, this video would go on forever if I talked about the price of buying a new pair of shoes every year or 6 months or 3 months, however often you buy shoes. But there are little expenses, right? There are also emergencies that arise, and there are unexpected expenses, yeah? So, I don't know, you might be riding your bike and not have your license on you one day, go for a police roadblock, 500 baht, okay? So there's just little, you know, little expenses that are going to add up over time. And one big thing that I haven't covered on here, which I may cover in a future video, is, you know, medical and travel insurance. Now, I'll put some links in the description below to some good travel insurance providers if you're looking at getting that before you come out here. But medical and travel insurance. So medical insurance, again, it's hard to cover because it's going to vary depending on your age and your scenario and your situation. Right? It's not the same cost for everybody, but that is something else you're going to have to factor in. I mean, at a bare absolute minimum, right, if we're talking about like personal care stuff, doing your laundry, gas for your motorbike, things like that, I would say 3,000 baht a month, right? Bare minimum, that's like $100 just for your day-to-day living, maybe a couple of coffees here or there. You know, if you buy a coffee at an expensive coffee shop every day, that could be 100 baht a day. You know, that's 3,000 baht just on coffee, right? So there are all these little expenses, but let's just say at a bare minimum, 3,000 baht a month. You probably want to double that actually, but 3,000 baht a month plus on top of our total of 29,100, we're now looking at 32,000 baht, 32,100 baht. That's $921. So can you live in Thailand for $1,000 or under? Yes, you can, but it's going to be a struggle based off of the criteria that I've just mentioned in this video. So that is not going out and drinking. It's not going out and partying. You know, if you want to save some extra money, you could find a really cheap condo. You could live in the hotel room style apartment, which is a firework going off in the middle of the day. That's weird. Don't know if you heard that. Anyway, yeah, you could go and live in a hotel style apartment. Hotel room style apartment would cost you like 3,000 to 4,000 baht. Totally threw me off, that did. Yeah, 3,000 to 4,000 baht a month. Hotel room rather than the 7, 8, 9, 10,000 baht modern style apartment. If you do want to come to Thailand, if you don't really have enough money to do it, then one of the biggest suggestions I could give you is to start a side hustle, right? Start trying to make some money online. That's exactly what I did when I first got here. Like I said, I was living in the small hotel style apartment, hotel room style apartments. I didn't have a lot of money. Started a side hustle, started making money online. And now my life has obviously upgraded over time. Now, if you need help with that, if you want to kind of see what I did so you can kind of do it for yourself, then check out this link right here. This is a link to my digital nomad framework. Completely goes through my whole backstory, talks about everything that I've done, how I make money online, etc. But also say, like in this video, like I said, we come in at what, $921. That's not going to give you much room to spare, right? I mean, if you live in a foreign country and, you know, if you need to have one or two things. You need to either have some savings to back you up. I would say like a minimum of like, well, my golden rule is you need to have enough money to live for a year in savings. I think everybody should have in their savings account, calculate what it costs you to live for a year. So if it costs you $1,000 a month to live, then you should have $12,000 in savings in your account. So if everything went terrible, you could live for a year in the place that you're in. So I would say you need to have either savings or you need to be, you know, have about at least $300 a month over what you're spending. All right, because and then that would basically mean you would have to live off of $700 a month, not 1,000. So our total was 900 and something. So you would have to live in the cheaper apartment. You would have to cut back on expenses. You would have to be very careful with what you spend to bring that down to 700, so that you could save 300. That's if you had $1,000 a month. That's what I would suggest. I wouldn't suggest coming here with no savings, only $1,000 a month, coming in right under $1,000, because it's just going to be stressful. You're going to have expenses that are going to take you over and things like that. You kind of get what I'm saying, right? So you can do it for 1,000, but it's going to be, you know, it's going to be a proper tight squeeze if you live the sort of lifestyle that I've described in this video. It's about the lifestyle that you want to live and your expectations. Now, I don't have grand expectations. A lot of people will see this and say, oh, Brett, why are you saying you can live on $1,000 a month? Like, I'm not saying I live on $1,000 a month. I'm not saying you have to live on $1,000 a month. I'm just trying to answer the question as, can it actually be done? Because some people, their lifestyles, they will spend $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 a month in Thailand, right? And they will consider that normal. Now, I think that's extravagant, and I'm not interested in that. You know, I don't have extravagant taste, but also at the same time, I want to be a little bit comfortable, right? So overall, can be done, but I'd say, I've said this in other videos, I would go for 1,500, right? 1,500, and you're going to be comfortable. You're not going to be able to do everything you want, but you're going to be comfortable. You're going to be able to save some. You know, I've met people here that have come over here and they've come on that budget. They've come to really try and budget really hard. And the tough thing is, it's like, they might go online, they might meet a girl, and now they've got this girlfriend, they want to go on dates, they can't do anything, you know, and that's not a nice position to be in. You know, if you're trying to date a woman or whatever, and she wants to go here or there and you can't afford it, like, you're going to want a little bit more money, right? You don't want to be feeling like that. So I would say $1,500 is okay. If you go $2,000, then you're going to be able to have really quite a lot of freedom, right? Because think about that. Imagine you've got an extra $500 every single month in expendable income. Now you're starting to talk about, you know, every couple of months you can be taking a trip across somewhere else in the country. You can fly domestically. Maybe every few months you might fly to another country just in Southeast Asia, Cambodia, Vietnam, go for a little holiday. About $2,000 a month, you can start to do those sort of things. So I hope that gives you a good idea. I hope that gives you a good outline. Can it be done? Yes, it can. But, you know, what sort of lifestyle is it you're going to have? Hopefully you can draw some conclusions from it in this video. And if you like this video, then you're probably going to also like this one right here. That's all for today, guys, and I will see you in the next one. Take care for now. Bye-bye.